Evening, everybody. It's 6 o'clock on Wednesday evening, December the 8th, and this is your closing comment. It is video number 1053. Really getting up there. Okay, news today. The JOLTS job openings, a shade over 11 million versus last month's 10.6 million. So plenty of jobs out there that are unfilled. Personally, I think that that's going to be a big weight on earnings. Earnings being probably one of the stickiest points relative to inflation. Oil inventories were down 240,000, not as bad as last week's down 910, but down nonetheless. The market, which was up about 100, finished up 35 after being actually down. So went in both directions today, only down 0.1%, while internals were about 1.6 to 1 to the upside. NASDAQ up 100 or 0.64, 2 to 1 internals, but volume was lighter by about 7 or 8%. The S&P was up 1446. The big winner on the day was the Russell, up 1782 or 0.80%, and the transports were down 0.33%, down $50 and change. Oil was up. I'm not sure whether the inventories had anything to do with it. It did trade as high as 73. I'll show you what that looks like on the chart, because I think we've been talking about the fact that I think it's going to run into some overhead resistance, not so much further than where it is right now. So I'm thinking in this 74.5 to 76 area. There's a fair amount of supply. There's also the falling 20-day, although the 5-day is moving up to it, so we could get across there. But we're also hanging below that long-term trend line that we broke on the way down here at 71 before going to 62 and high change. So we are building here. We are above the 200-day, but we are below the other three averages, the 20, the 50, and the 100-day. So there's that. Gold had an uneventful day, closing up 80 cents. Bitcoin up 325. The dollar was down $0.50. Actually, 95.88, down 49 cents. Bonds were down, and there was a bond auction that was just average. The reason that I wanted to show you the Bitcoin and Ethereum is because while Bitcoin was up and it is making a valiant effort to bottom here and actually looks pretty decent. I'll show you. Okay, so we opened up here. We opened today at 50,600, came all the way down to 48.6, and then all the way back up to close, as I said, up here at 50,925, up 325. But here's the important number. It was up 0.64%. A look at Ethereum, which, as everybody knows, I am big time in favor of over Bitcoin, and certainly over the Bitcoin futures. This one also tested, except that we're on top of all of the moving averages here, all of them. The 5-day just barely below the 20-day, not serious yet. If it would have closed on the bottom, I would have been concerned, but it closed up and on the top. And the important thing here is it closed up over 3%. So Ethereum today was 5 times better than Bitcoin, it was better than Bitcoin yesterday. It has been consistently better than Bitcoin. And frankly, we have this area of support running around 40. The all-time high is only 49, as opposed to as badly as Bitcoin has sold off. Also, this MACD looks like it's about to cross over to the upside. We have gotten less and less and less negative since this bottom, which coincidentally coincides with 39.35, which was the low, and every day we've gotten a little bit better. We, I think, could turn back to the upside here, and I would draw a little trend line here and say, if I'd obviously like to see us close above 46.91, but even just a close above the low close here at 45.43 would still be impressive, and frankly, that's only $100 away. On the earnings front, we had RH, formerly Restoration Hardware. They beat top and bottom. The stock had closed 576.96, up 62 cents. After the earnings came, it traded as high as 655. Last was 642, up 65.66, or 11.5%. Roku signed a deal with Google and YouTube. It was going to be off Roku as of tomorrow, so they made a deal, and the stock closed 257.49. That was up 40 or 19%, so a nice move there. But let's remember that this stock was just 196, and its high was 490. So it's an expensive one, but I have a feeling that you could fade this deal going forward, maybe looking for a test of that 200 again for a trade. GME, loss widened. The granddaddy of all the meme stocks. It shows a high of 483, but that's actually inaccurate. I was watching it the day that it made its high at 483. It also made a high pre-market, so in extended hours of 575. So the loss widened, and revenues missed, and inventory was up. So never a good thing. This is also, I might add, the third quarter where, the savior of this company, supposedly, the ex-CEO of Chewy, this is his third quarter, and they're not showing anything, really. So the stock closed 173.65, down $4 before the earnings, traded right down to 160. Last was 165.87, down 12.37. So not such a huge drop, but like I said, this stock was 575. Okay, and one more ISIG. I'm going to mention this one again. I'm going to warn you about it and warn you about it and warn you about it until it goes back down, and it will. This stock came from $4.94 on Friday. Traded as high as 1571. Then yesterday it closed 1038, down from just under 15, 31%. Today it traded up as high as 2485, and the last was 1827, up 789 or 76%. This is a piece of crap. This company made the announcement that they were going to explore strategic alternatives. I told you about that on Friday. They have said absolutely nothing since then. This is an in-store advertising play that consistently loses money. So $4.94 to $25, I don't see it. I'm not going to tell you to short it. If it has options, and I will check and find out. If it has options, I would seriously consider them. I'm going to guess they're very expensive. ISIG. Let's take a quick look. ISIG. And of course, no options. So there's not really a way to play this one. What I will mention, however, is that we have a position in ICE, Intercontinental, owner of the NYSE, trader of stocks, futures, and options. We're in the 135s. They cost between 90 cents and $1. They closed $1.79 today. The stock is just breaking out. I put out a special video on this yesterday. If you missed it, go to the Discord page or the Daily Note. It's listed with a link in both of them. I'm kind of torn here because of the 100% up rule, which would have us selling them at $2, where they actually did trade today. And I mentioned to all of the subscribers who in fact own it that I would consider holding it. This has not been a stellar year for us. The rules are the rules, and I'm not sure that anybody would have gotten executed. Only a few traded at $2. But in my personal account, I am holding on to them because I think that this stock is just beginning to move. You should look at that video. It will be again in on tonight's Daily Note, or you can go to our YouTube channel and look at it. It was, I believe, video number 1050 yesterday during the day. I could easily see this stock. The last time we had an MACD crossover and the stock looked this strong, went from 120 to 140. So if we do break out again this week, it looks to me like 140, 145 are a possibility. Maybe not a probability, but a possibility. And on a probable basis, I think 138 looks pretty decent. Have a good evening. Keep your position sizes appropriate. This is a very tough market, and it's not a safe one, as much as the teleprompter readers would like